Hey guys, it's Mariah here, and today I'm going to be doing the Try a Chapter tag. I have 5 books. I'm going to read the first chapter of each book, and then I'm going to decide which book I want to read next and which books I want to put on my TBR and which books I want to put off for a little bit. I was looking at all the books on my bookshelf and I could not decide which book I wanted to read next because there's so many books that I want to read. So I went ahead and picked 5 of the top ones on my list, and I want to read a chapter of each one of them to kind of see if it'll help me decide which book I do want to read and which books I don't want to read. All the books I'm going to mention were either in my haul from Book Outlet or in my January TBR. So if you want to know about the books, then I will leave a link to those videos down below. I'm not going to go into very much depth into what these books are about because I have other videos explaining kind of what the synopsis of each book is. The first book I have is Far, Far Away by Tom McNeill. This is a sci-fi book based in the place called Never Better. That's about the gist of what I know about this book, so I'm going to read the first chapter in this one and see what I think of it. The next book I have is The Creeping by Alexandra Sorori. This is a mystery book. 2 girls go missing, one comes back later, and they're trying to figure out what happened to the girl that went missing. That's about all I know about this book. The next book I'm going to be reading is The Girls by Emma Cline. This was in my Book of the Month unboxing, which I will leave down below, and I'll leave it in the cards for you. This is about a girl who becomes obsessed with the girls that are a part of something similar to the Manson family, I believe. So this is a little bit of a twist on that, and I'm interested to see about this one. The next book I have is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. This one I did put in my January TBR. I do want to read it in January. I'm just not 100% sure if I want to read this next or I want to read another book before I read this one. The next book I have is The Most Dangerous Place on Earth by Lindsay Lee Johnson. This also was in my Book of the Month unboxing. All I know about this is it's about a place in high school and a girl gets in a scandalous relationship with her teacher, and that's about that. So I'm going to go ahead and read the first chapter in one of the books, and then I will be right back with you guys. I just read the first bit of Far, Far Away. This is a little bit set up weird, like it's not in chapters. If you look, it has a space right here, and that's how it's broken up. So that's the first one, just that little paragraph. So I read till the next one, which was about 5 pages. So far, it's a little interesting. You don't know who the narrator is, really. He is talking about the main character, and basically he's watching the main character, and he says that he is meant to protect him, I guess, or something like that. I don't know if it's his guardian angel or whatnot. It does intrigue me, though, the way that the book is set up and the narrator, and the fact that you don't know who it is quite yet. But the fact that this seems like a little bit of like a sci-fi type deal kind of interests me. So, oh, Simba's coming to join me. This actually seems pretty interesting to me. Oh, Simba, I can't tell I think that this will be on my list of to read soon. So I just read the first chapter of The Creeping. This one also interests me too. This might end up being a hard decision at the end. But this is pretty interesting. Basically, Stella, the main character, just goes over the gist of what happened when she was 6, I believe, and she's 17 now, and she's hanging out with her friends on the beach. And then at the very end of the chapter, this strange person appears, and then the chapter ends. So I really want to know what happens because I'm like, oh my gosh, who's this person and what do they want? And I like that the first chapter just basically set up the most of the background for the plot of the story, which is good. So you already basically know what happened to her in the first 15 pages, but you also know a little bit about her and her friends, which I really enjoyed. So, I don't know. This seems really interesting to me too. Oh no, I'm going to want to read all of these books. This is going to be bad. Just read the first bit of The Sun Is Also a Star. This is also set up a little bit differently, not in chapters. I read the prologue, and some parts are in Daniel's and some parts are in Natasha's. So I read Daniel's first and Natasha's first, which Daniel's was 1 page and Natasha was like 2.5 pages. So I didn't get very much into it. Basically, it doesn't tell you more than what you already know. You know that Natasha's getting deported to Jamaica, and it does say, like, at the end of Natasha said that they're getting deported tonight, and she's going to go see if someone can help her out. I'm guessing Daniel is some type of Asian. I'm not 100% sure what kind, but both of his parents talk very broken English, and Natasha's mom also spoke very broken English. I feel like that's kind of stereotypical, and I'm not 100% sure how I feel about that. I understand that's probably how that they would talk, but I don't know. I don't know. Didn't really have much to go off of. I do like the fact that it's Daniel, then Natasha, talking back and forth. I don't know if I'm in the mood for this book right now. I really want to read it because I've heard good things about it, but the first little part didn't tell me anything more than what I already knew about it. So I just read the first part of The Girls. This again was set up a little bit different. It's set up in parts. So there was part one, and then I feel like it was a prologue, because then it went to 1969, and then chapter one, and then there's like part two with another prologue, it looked like. So I just read the first 20 pages, which it was after it said part one. It was Evie who is the main character, but it was her in like her 40s after everything had happened. So everything happened when she was, I think she said 14. So I didn't really get much from it. I mean, you heard a little bit of it, kind of. The way it was written was a little bit confusing, actually. Kind of had to like reread a couple parts to understand what was going on. But I'm really interested in getting into the actual past in the 1960s when she was 14 and when she actually met these people. So it'll be interesting. It's good, but out of the other ones I read, there were a couple more that I was intrigued a little bit more by. So just finished the first chapter of The Most Dangerous Place on Earth. Well, not really chapter. It was like the first part, actually. It was 8th grade. And then the next part is, I believe, junior, then senior year. So it's a little bit spaced out. But you learn about Callie. And her mother is sick. And she has a friend, Abigail. And then she talks about this boy she has a crush on. I'm curious to see that, since this is 8th grade, like, how much this 8th grade part has to do with the rest of the book, because the rest of the book is so far ahead. Will this girl still be your friend? Will they be enemies? Will she care about this guy or not? So it kind of intrigues me, like, there has to be a reason that this 8th grade year is here, but the rest of the book is her junior year, so it's so far ahead. So I'm kind of really intrigued by this book, but I'm not 100% sure if I'll like the rest of it or not. So we'll see. Okay, so I just read the first chapter in all of the books. This is kind of a tough decision because most of them did interest me in some way or another. The two that disinterested me the least were The Girls and The Sun Is Also a Star. This was originally on my January TBR, but I'm just not 100% sure if I'm in the mood for this right now. I know I do want to read it. I might read it soon, but this definitely isn't going to be the next book I read. And then this is also a book I really want to get into, but at least the first part of it was really confusing and kind of jumped around a lot. So this isn't something I want to pick up right now. Now, between these next 3 books, this one I think is going to be kind of, I don't know, process of elimination. I think I'm not going to like this one as much, just because I feel like it's going to be a little bit catty with girls in high school, and I'm not sure if that's something I'm super interested in, so I think I'm going to put this one on the back burner for now. I think that's really interesting because all 3 of those books were my Book of the Month books, which I specifically picked them out, and I really wanted to read them, and now I'm like, oh, I'll put them on the back burner. So it's between these 2, and this one seems a little bit kind of corny starting off as well. I don't know what it is. I think it has to do with the fact that the place is called Never Better, and they talk about Prince cake. I don't know. But this seems a little bit, I don't know. So out of all the books I read, all of them seem really interesting to me, and I do want to read all of them pretty soon. But the one that interested me the most is the creeping, definitely. The ending of the first chapter left me wanting to know what's happening and who this guy is, and I'm kind of in the mood for a little bit of a mystery, so I think this is what I'm going to read next. I'm going to start reading this. I'm going to put this on my currently reading on Goodreads, and this should be finished by the end of January on my January wrap up, and I will let you know my thoughts and opinions on that. Okay, so that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.